How's it going, guys? Back here, I got my wrought iron pick made, and for anybody that doesn't know, it says raw wrought iron pick, which means you got to use a file on it, at least until you get a sharpening stone, whatever the heck that thing is called. I'm old and forgetful and have done since forgot, but I'll look it up in a second. So there we go. We got a wrought iron pick now. Now, I want to try something. Because although this is all stone dust, by the way, is a way for me to make stone hammers, I really don't like them. Can't frickin' stand them. And I did notice one thing, which I'll show you in a little bit. Now I can get all of this gold out of here. It's been just hovering around. So happy about that. Over here, we have this nice black stone. And I can't break it with a stone pick, but I can break it with a wrought iron pick. And I want to know if I can make a hammer out of this stuff. Basalt cobble. Now, I'm sure I'm going to have to cook it back into regular basalt. But I'm going to check and see if such things can happen. And if so, I'm going to start making them out of there. And what I'll actually probably end up doing is all this stone scrap I'll turn into stone picks, since I'm using stone picks for most of everything now anyways. Just because I have this doesn't mean I'm going to use it. Okay, I can make a really crappy basalt crucible. Yeah, we ain't doing that because, well, that's worse than what we already had. We can smelt it into basalt. We can cook it into basalt dust, which we can centrifuge eventually into olivine, calcite, flint, dark ash, and let's go back here, and those are just slabs, so let's look at the basalt. That's the same thing. We can make basalt bricks, and I do not see where we can make a basalt hammer. So, well, that kind of stinks. I do like this smooth basalt. It's kind of pretty. But that kind of stinks. I was hoping there was actually I know there's a granite one, but I gotta go quite a bit higher on level before I can do granite. I gotta get to level 3. I'm only at level 2 now. So I gotta get titanium or something similar to that level. And fortunately, I can actually do that pretty easily here in Gregtech 6. I do believe that titania, or not titania, I'm thinking plants again. I was just on the server growing crops. But the ilmenite, whatever the heck that stuff is called, I do believe that stuff just cooks right to titanium. You don't need to extract it. There's no rutile to mess with like there is in Gregtech 5. Or at least last time I checked it was that way. I'll have to go check again, because the rutile thing we have to do in Gregtech 5 is something that Blood added. So I should be able to get a titanium pick pretty easily. But I'm in no big hurry to jump up to that. I'm still having fun here in the Stone Ages. What I'm worried about finding is copper. I'm fiending for my copper. I've actually gotten like 54 things of malachite out of the stone, or out of the iron mine down there, the limonite mine. But with that only being 1 nugget per ore, that's like 6 copper nuggets, 6 copper ingots. So really not worth the time to do it when I can find chalcopyrite and regular copper small stuff out here, or if I can find a chalcopyrite vein somewhere, which would be really nice. I just gotta do some more digging around. Right now on the server we're in the middle of moving, and so there's a lot of things that I need to help build, so I've been spending more time over there than on my single player worlds. But there isn't a whole lot to show you guys, so I still come back every night and play around a bit so I can show something off to you guys. Don't want you to get bored. Alright, so can we dig this stuff with... Yes, we can. Okay, so let's look at it here. We can get the purified from sifting this, which will give us tiny titanium, which only needs 1941 melting. So we don't even need a better crucible to make titanium. All I have to do is get some of the titanium that is stone, or get to a sifter, which the hand sifting thing is going to be pretty soon on my list. I just need to spend a lot of time over here digging out all of this lignite and coal, so I can melt down a bunch of iron, because I got plenty of iron. I got limonite coming out of my butt right now from that. Why in the heck was I just using a sword? I was supposed to be using my shovel. And so, and I can't do this with this. I gotta make a better shovel to do that. Can I even pick this stuff up? No. Because I didn't empty my inventory before I came over here, because I wanted to show you guys something. So now I have a full inventory of, well, a bunch of crap I really don't need on me. So here, I'm going to trade you 2 things of gravel for 2 things of lignite. And I'll go walk my butt back. But before I do that, I'm going to get some of this out of here, because I don't usually carry my wrought iron picks around with me early on, because most everything I'm going to still mine with stone. No reason to waste a good resource when I don't have to, you know. So I'll just get what gold I can see out of the way here, and then the rest will wait until I come back and get it out later. So hopefully you aren't looking for any good advice in this episode, because I'm just going to kind of ramble around a little bit today. Like I said, I don't have a whole lot set to do. Need to come back and clear these out. I didn't know I still had small ores up here. I thought I'd gotten most of them out of here. The one thing I really hope that Greg adds soon is a way of doing bigger batches of stuff. And I really don't think he's going to add it at all. I know the next month's thing is going to be, food and drinks getting added back in mainly. That's what's on the changelog right now. And he might add in like a brewery or something like that, but I don't think he's going to do much that's not food related at the moment. He likes to keep things kind of together in what they do in the changes. But I think he wants us to basically automate these and set up separate ones for each type of thing that we do, like one for iron, one for titanium, one for aluminum, and set them up so they automate. And that is the wrong one. Just throw that one in there. I know I got, there it is. Alright. So, what else was it that I was going to do? My brain is like fried tonight. I think it's all this extra delivering I've been doing this week. My brain is just not wanting to work properly. But see, I don't like automating them. I like doing them by hand. I'm a hand crafter type guy. If you ain't learned that from any other videos you may have watched by me, I don't do a whole lot of automating, especially when it comes to that kind of stuff. I like to do a lot of things hands-on, and I don't really mind having to do the smaller batches, but like if you try to make blue steel, red steel, stainless steel, any alloys that take more than 2 components, really, you can't do very much at one time. And so I think what I'm probably going to end up doing is putting in multiple bays like what I have here, where I can mix things together. Oh my goodness, what is going on tonight? Before I started recording, I was fine. Now all of a sudden I'm yawning, and it's about time for me to leave for work. I'm not tired. I just can't stop yawning. Drive me nuts. But I might end up putting in multiple bays like this, not for automating, but so I can do, like if I was doing blue steel, I'd make one part here, one part here, one part here, and then maybe pipe it out and into the last one where they need to be mixed. The only problem is you got to have the right amounts. So you got to make sure you put just the right amount here, here, and here to mix into the last one. Alright, so what do I want to do? What do I want to do? I need to get some wood in there so I can get some charcoal made. That's what I want to do. Before I can do that, I need to get me an axe made. I'm probably going to work on flint. Getting me a bunch of iron made up, because I need a hopper. Let me do a sleep, and I don't feel like fighting tonight. And I need to go into the config file and turn off this goofy IHL book every time I wake up thing, because every time I restart my game, I get a book when I first sleep. And I've got a whole pile of them over there, and one or two is nice, but I don't need 6 or 7. And I think I got closer to like 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I got 10. Alright, so let's go get some wood here. I do want to ask you guys that leave comments every now and then. What do you guys think of the non-tier based that Gregtech is going to now? Where it's kind of more open to do what you want when you want, rather than being based on you got to get past this gated material to get to this next, or you got to build this specific machine to get to this next tier. And you know, for me, that's something that I've always really enjoyed with Gregtech, was the fact that it had obstacles in it that you had to overcome. You had those gates you had to get through. You know, you got to build a blast furnace to be able to get to steel, and you need steel to get to, you know, your machines that use any energy whatsoever. And then once you make enough aluminum with that blast furnace, then you can deal with the medium voltage as well, and things like that, where, you know, titanium is a pretty high level material if you're going by Gregtech 5 standards. You know, that's tier 5 or 6 machine casings. And I can now smelt it right now if I wanted to. All I'd have to do is go out there, grab it, and I'd be good to go. And it's a pretty high tier when it comes to tools and stuff as well. You know, if I look up titanium, if I can spell it, titanium swords, if I remember, I can kill in 2 shots with a titanium sword. They got 256 durability. You know, they're level 3, so it's a level 3 pick. And if I remember correctly, it's got a pretty good mining speed on it. Yeah, mining speed of 8. That's pretty daggone good. So, you know, I could jump up to that really, really quickly. Oh, there's one thing I do need to look at. It's been a while since I did this. Somebody was asking what to go to after the vanadium crucible. If you look at it, it'll go up to 2728. So you got to look for a material that's melting point is below that, but its melt down point is above that. So like you got dark iron, but we don't have that. Meteoric iron, not that. Meteoric steel, not that. Night metal is one way to go, but you got to go through the Twilight Forest to get there. Fiery steel as well is another one that you can put in there if you choose, but not at that point. So if you want to go the Twilight Forest route, you can do that. I personally save the Twilight Forest for way later. Thaumium is another one that can be tossed in there. Titanium you don't want to use, that's too low. Chromium looks like the next level, because you got 2183 or 2728 is what it'll melt at. And chromium only needs to get to 21. Wait a minute, 27. Okay, so you don't need the chromium. I was wrong. Those are the same. It's moly. That's the one that you need next. I forgot about that. It's moly and then tantalum and then iridium. And moly is a pain in the butt to find. The only good thing is I think you can get moly off of as a byproduct off of like tungsten and stuff like that. Yeah, scheelite you can get moly. There's moly. There's molybdenite, gravel moly, molybdenium, and scheelite. So if you can find tungsten before you find a moly vein, you can get it off of there. But finding an actual moly vein sometimes can be a real pain in the butt. And again, it's one of those things where I kind of had a discussion with Greg about this. He says there's no tiers in Gregtech 6, but you really don't have a choice. You know, you sort of do, but you sort of don't. You're not really getting to the next tier above moly, which is the tantalum, without a moly. You know, you've got to have something that does 3290 melting temperature for tantalum. And moly will do that because it won't melt down till 36. But if you look at everything else that is lower tier than that, other than, you know, if you have another mod like Twilight Forest, they won't get there. So you have to find moly. And so that is still a gate, whether it's a natural imposed gate, which is what he was arguing with me about, was that those are the natural melting points of those metals, adding, you know, so much for the crucible, percentage for the crucible. But, you know, there's other crucibles that are out in the world, like there's special ceramic ones. I think Axel was arguing with him that there was ones made of bauxite that can take a lot of heat and stuff, and we have bauxite in here, so it's something we could have. But yeah, there is still tiers, whether they're imposed by the numbers or imposed by Greg himself. There's still tiers. They're just harder to find. So I actually got to go back on the thing and let that person know that I was wrong, because I told them I thought tantalum and then iridium after that, and because I had forgotten all about the Molly one. So I guess that's something I definitely need to be looking for, so I have it when I need it. Kind of glad I remembered that, because I know when you get to that point and you actually need that stuff, it kind of becomes a Easter egg hunt, where that's about all you do is search for that stuff. I want to try something real quick. I've got 6 lignite coal here that's crushed. I want to get this out of my inventory. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and wash it. Basically, I want to see if I'm going to use more hammers breaking up the coal to make the stone hammers than what I'm going to use to actually do this. Because if I use a stone hammer on crushed, it only gets 4 uses. See, I got 4 right there. Let me grab some more stone out of here. And there we go. And so now I've got 4 of these and gone. So only crushing them, I get 4 uses. Now, I do believe breaking them in the world, I will get more. And I hear you, butthead. I knew you were coming to shoot me. Alright, I'm out of here. No more washing stuff at night. I got the idea. I really need to put me in a washing bay in here. I'm just being lazy and don't want to make an infinite water source in here. I guess it's not lazy. I'm being hard-headed. Because it's not really hard to do. I got a freaking bucket. All I got to do is move 2 water blocks in here. I'm being hard-headed. And I don't want to put an infinite water source in my base. I want to pump water into my base. Yeah, I see you still over there, and you got that daggone bow that's going to kick my butt. Now, you just shut up. Alright, I gotta get in the water. Cool my ass off. And I don't have a sword. But I got my trusty pickaxe, and I like to kick skeletons' butts with pickaxes. Don't like playing with creepers with them, though. Daggone it, why'd the creeper have to come out? I'm not playing around with creepers. Do I got any arrows? Yes, I do. Come here, buddy. I've got to get off my butt and get me some chickens over here. I've just been being lazy. That's where I've been being lazy. So I got a lasso to bring them over. And I got eggs down there I can spam and try to get a chicken over here. But I just been busy messing with other stuff and ain't felt like messing with the chickens. But I need to get them over here so I can make some daggone arrows. Because right now all the arrows I'm using are ones that I have picked up off of skeletons. Alright, I got the lignite out here. So let's try this. If I take well, let's do this first. I've got 9 of these, so let's make a hammer. Let's make a stick. Then we'll make a hammer. Alright, that there. That there. Give me that. Now, coal. I have no regular coal over here. I have lignite. Let's put 8 of these out and see if the hammer breaks. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I can do 8 things of lignite. So it's going to take 3 hammers. And did you notice that I lost my last thing of lignite? I broke 8 of them, but because the hammer broke, I lost the last piece. So don't do that. That's bad. Oh, wait a minute. I only put 8 of these out. So the last one didn't crush because there wasn't enough durability. So I only get 7 out of 1 hammer. Alright, so that'll be 3 hammers worth right there. So let's put this in here and see if we get 3 hammers worth of stone out of there. There should be 3 hammers worth of stone in there. Because if I can get 3 hammers worth of stone out, at least, then it'll be a viable way of just making dark ash. Because I'm not actually wasting. I'm trying to remember here what it was I needed. 4, is it 3 stacks in? I think it was 3 stacks and 6 was what I had before. Let's see here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright. Okay, so 7 is definitely more than what we need. Well, no, because it's burning the last one right now. So 7 will do what's in here. There's 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Grab it. Okay, crap. I gotta get more in there. I'll just grab these 2. Okay, it's off. I ain't gotta worry so much now. Okay, so I made 2 out of those 7. And it's still got a little bit of temperature in there. So there's 4 sets of 8. So this will make, don't touch. That's 4 all the way. So then 1, 2, and then that's all I need. So do I have enough heat left in there? Looks like I do. To make 1 more. Yes, I do. Alright. So it is a viable way of making my dark ash. And now it's cooled off. Alright, so that's a test succeeded. So now I got a way to make my stone hammers and make dark ash at the same time. Why do I only have 5? Give me the other 2. There we go. Now if I use coal, it would be even better, because I'd probably only put 2 in there. But I want to save the coal for bigger jobs where I need more heat. Now, the other thing that I was wanting to show you guys was, if we look up gold hammer, can we find a gold hammer head? Gold hammer head. Gold hammer head. There we go. Okay, gold hammerhead is used with a stick, and it's level 2, and it only has 64 durability. But if you look up Electrum, Electrum, we want a Electrum hammerhead. It uses a steel rod and has 64 durability. So, oh, wait a minute. I thought I looked this up the other time and it was the other way around. Alright, I'm backwards. Was it silver? I was looking for a better daggone hammer, alright? And I thought I had this figured out. And apparently, I'm wrong. Silver. See, it needs steel too. Well, crud. See, I was thinking if you put the steel and the gold and the silver together and made Electrum, that it was the one that took the wood hammer, and the gold didn't. And apparently, I was just NEIing terribly, because apparently gold will work. So, let's look here. Stone hammerhead. Stone only has 16 durability. So gold has 4 times the amount of durability, and it's level 2. So if you find a lot of gold, which with all the magnetite veins that are out there, there is a lot of gold. And when you're digging around down below, you'll find lots of this kind of gold. You can make one of them. But one thing you got to remember is the density of gold is very, very high. If you look at the weight there, it's 2,142 kilograms for just that one thing of gold dust. So that's 1 ingot of gold dust. Where compared to iron, don't I have well, let's look at bronze since I ain't got iron. An iron ingot is only 9,000. So it's going to take a whole lot more coal to smelt the gold than it is bronze or iron or anything like that. Because it's very, very dense. Has a very high weight to it. Even though its melting temperature is only 1337, you're probably going to use about the same amount of coal, if not more, to do gold than you will iron. And with them both being the same durability, the only real choice you have to make is which one is more useful. You know, if the mod you're playing with this with You know, like I'm using rotary craft and electric craft and all them in here, and magnetic craft and IE, immersive engineering. You know, they are all very iron hungry mods, and not very high on the gold. So it might be worth it for somebody playing in a pack like mine to use their gold up to save on their iron. I'm not actually going to do it. Now, if it was the way I thought it was with Electrum, I probably might have thought about it. But I'll stick with iron. Because truthfully, with all the magnetite and limonites that are in this world, there's plenty of iron. I'm really not worried about running out of it. You know, I'll bring it down here to my thing, and then we'll cut this video for today. But I've almost got this limonite vein to its full girth, and I just want to show you just how dense this thing is. I swear they've got denser in Gregtech 6. You know, look at all of this limonite and banded iron in here. You know, this is a lot of iron, and it goes all the way over to this wall right here. It may go back this way, I'm not sure, because this is the corner, and the far corners are usually very little. So I've just been running this line right here and kind of watching this wall to see if I see anything. But, you know, that is the full stretch from side to side so far that I've seen for this vein. So it's going pretty good, and I'm getting a lot of iron just out of this one. And the good thing is, you find one in the hills, you get emeralds. And I've got another one right down here, and I'm gonna grab it because you can use emeralds for tools as well, and they actually don't make too bad of tools. Usage here, let's see, we need 256 level 2 hammer. So that'll be a nice hammer once I get 6 of these. And then, let's see. Is there also a sword? I can't remember if there's a sword. I usually use them for hammers. That's one of my favorite things for gems, is hammers. I think you gotta have the plates for the sword, that's right. And there's an emerald sword, 256 durability, attack damage of 6. And I haven't tried it yet, but you should be able to melt these down. 600, very low weight. 600 is the melting temperature. So we should be able to make the plates just by melting it in a crucible. I haven't tried it yet. I haven't found an emerald vein. I'm just playing around in the hills, so I don't really want to waste an emerald right now to try to make a plate by melting it down, because it could just evaporate into nothing and kill me. But once I get me a rubber setup made, which is my first main goal here, just in case anybody wonders, I want to get a thermometer made for my crucible, and then I want to get a rubber setup made, and that's going to take steel. And I got my graphite, just got to make the iron, and it's also going to take bronze. And so I got to find more copper, because like I said, this is all the copper I got right here. I got 60 of them. That is not worth melting down to make copper. That's like 6 ingots of copper, which will make me, 8 or 9 bronze. It's barely even enough to finish the engine I got to make, or the boiler I got to make, and I got to make a squeezer on top of that. So that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed my rambling and my testing, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.